Hello and thank you for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to be doing palette reviews for these guys right here. Very, not notorious or anything, but I feel like I resisted buying them for a really long time. But they are the Karity palettes. They look like this. I'll show you what they look like in a second. Instagram was pushing, well, I shouldn't say Instagram. I think they were paying for a lot of marketing, but they were literally, I like makeup, so I have ads for makeup pop up on my screen, and it was like Facebook, Instagram, like any website I went to, and side panels, I kept on seeing freaking reviews for these. Plus, I feel like the Karity palettes are known for having like amazingly pigmented swatches, which you can get with anything. So for me personally, swatches don't really say how eyeshadow works because you can swatch well, perform poorly, vice versa. So I'm just going to do, I will show you the palettes, the price for them, I'll break all that down, talk about how they performed for me personally, and then I'll do swatches. For swatches, I am just going to do a finger swatch. The reason I do that is I do swatches so that you can see the color on my skin. Obviously, everyone has different skin tones, but just so you can kind of see how it looks on a skin tone. I just do finger swatches on my arms so you can see the color, because as I said earlier, I don't really think a swatch is going to tell you how product works, but I will tell you from experience of using them. Take that as you will. If you would like a makeup tutorial to see how these bad boys work in action, I will put a link for one. I did a little makeup tutorial using it for the makeup look that you see on my face right now. So if interested in that, I'll link that video as well. But, ooh, my phone rang! Oh, sorry, my phone never rings, so it was exciting. But anyways, I will go ahead and get started. So these are what the palettes look like. The Karity makeup palettes. I like it because they're sleek, they are compact, they are skinny. They do have a magnetic, yeah, it has to be a magnetic closure to them. They do not come with a mirror, but they come and they look like this with 3 eyeshadows down and then 1, 2, 3, 7, so 21 eyeshadows. This is the Smoky palette, so it is a mix of some shimmers and mattes. And then this is the other palette I got, which is the All Matte palette. And wow, when you first hold these up, they look incredibly similar and a bit redundant. The reason that I bought both of these is because when I put them like these, eek, I think you can see that while there are some similarities, there are tweaks to the shades, so that when you put them like this, you get a full range that you can actually create a bunch of different looks with. It's harder to see it on camera, but these oranges, they're not as similar as they look on camera. And the thing that caught me the most is the browns. You have warm as well as cool tone brown. So I feel like if you like these palettes, you literally could, like, there's enough browns and colors where you could take these 2 palettes on a trip with you and do a crazy variety of looks and you would be good to go. So that is their size. I believe they're around like 30 bucks. I think they're like 29 something, so it's like 30 bucks for a palette. For 2 of them, it was like $60 for me. And what is nice, they do have the names of the eyeshadows listed underneath, and then on the back of it, it just has their social media tags. And it is cruelty free. Yeah, that's kind of it as far as the packaging and whatnot. And it says they're professional. Who knows? I feel like that can be arbitrary. But yep, that is the packaging. Now, as far as the eyeshadows actually work, I have mixed feelings for them. I think that right now, I feel like highly pigmented, softer pressed eyeshadows are really popular, at least for palettes that I have recently been purchasing. These, you can tell, are definitely more firmly pressed. I'm not saying they are Morphe, but it does remind me how Morphe, they're a bit more firmly pressed in. So you can definitely go in a bit more liberally with your brush, not crazy hardcore. And while there is some kick up, I think you can see, like on this brown color that I was using. I'll focus on my ring. While there is some kick up on this product, there isn't a crazy amount. Compared to a lot of palettes right now, it's very minimum for kickback. But then again, for mattes, I think whenever you touch a matte with a fluffy brush, you're going to get kickback. I think it's impossible not to, at least for the eyeshadows that I normally purchase. So all of these eyeshadows are pigmented. I will not say they're not pigmented because they are pigmented, but they lack, I don't want to say darkness, but they lack a richness or depth to them. And you can add that by mixing, like you can mix the green and you keep on building that green up. Say that green doesn't get as dark as you want, then you can add the brown into it, but you're still going to be changing the color a bit. So that was my only thing as well. These are pigmented and I like them. I feel like they don't have as much of a depth to their color. I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense. The only color I wasn't too big of a fan of that I've used yet is this light blue right here. I feel like light blues are very hard to get right, and I thought this one was really probably the least pigmented of all the colors that I have used. I was not a fan of this one. Every eyeshadow palette I feel like has a dud though. But I like the color selection. I do like how they perform. They are blendable. When you touch them, they do have, I feel like, what is standard now, kind of that velvety matte touch for eyeshadows. And yeah, those are the mattes, the breakdown for that. And for the smoky palette, I have the exact same thing. I have the exact same thing to say about all of the mattes in it. What I will say is the shimmers in this palette, I do not think they perform well unless you wet them. I know people will say, well, I always wet or foil or insert whatever you want to do, or I always apply it with a finger or this or that. And I normally do as well, but when I test a product, I like to see how it performs on its own without me tweaking it, because I do have shimmer eyeshadows that go on beautifully without me tweaking them. In particular, the Kat Von D ones are phenomenal. They are beautiful and you don't have to foil them. So they are pretty. I'm happy with how the color I used right here, what is it? Rude Bay. This one right here. I did use it on my eyes and I was happy with how it turned out after I foiled it. Before I foiled it, it was very lackluster to me and unimpressive. I think that's kind of it. That's all I really have to say. And they're blendable. I think I mentioned that. But these do blend out. They're really easy to work with, which is obviously really nice. It's nice when you have a product that is easy to work with. So I will go ahead and insert some swatches, and then this video will be done. And I'll go ahead and put at the end of the video. I think I already linked it. But if you want to see a tutorial on how these guys work, then head over to that video. I'm splitting them up so that I'm not making the videos too long. And also so people can kind of pick and choose what they would like to see. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the swatches. So this is our first arm of swatches, and this is going to be the smoky palette. The first color right here is natural. You can't see it because it blends into my pastiness. Then we have ABC, which is this orange color. Eclipse, which is hard to see on my skin as well, but is a very kind of soft, almost gray-y beige shimmer. Then Courtesan, which is a shimmer pink right here. Then I want to say blue, but it's spelled B-L-A-U-E. And then, sorry, Serpent is a green shimmer color next to it. Secret is this dark, cool tone, kind of coffee brown. Then the second row starts with Stargasm, which is this nice light, which is this nice light champagne color that we've got here. Then Tasty is this bright orange that has a nice kind of deepness to it. Then Scandal is right here. I have a feeling Scandal, this pink color, is definitely going to stain your eyelid, which I feel like happens a lot with pinks. Then we have Yaba, which is this very nice shimmer dark plum purple. Next to that is Menace, a nice deeper shimmer blue. Then Greed, which is the green I have on my eyes today, this color right here. And then we have Vanity, which is a gorgeous shimmer black. I'm actually very excited. This is, I think, one of the prettiest colors in the palette. Then the last and final row, the first color, Radioactive, which is kind of a nice yellow, I feel like, which is very popular in a lot of palettes right now. You've seen yellows going around a lot. And then we have Poof, which is this nice kind of rosy brown color, which I think is a really gorgeous transition. Then Burlesque, which is a purple with a bit more of a red in it right here, I would say. Some may think of it as a pink. To me, it reads a bit more as a purple. And then next to it is PDA, which is a more true purple. Karma right here is another gorgeous shimmery shade that is a dark navy blue. Then we have Rude Boy, which is this color right here, and this is another color that I have on my eye. And then we have Cougar, which is a basic black in the palette. So out of all of them, Vanity, this black one right here, actually does have some glitter in it, so I would definitely recommend putting it on with your hand. Now let's switch to the other arm. Okay, and now this is the All Matte palette. We're going to start off with the color Caress, which is white as me and blends in perfectly with my skin tone so you can't see it. Then next to it Whisper, which is a very soft baby pink, which also blends into my skin tone. Then we have Cancun next to that, which is kind of a tropical orange. Next to that is Alexi, which is a very pretty bright neon pink, followed by Enchant, which is another kind of tropical bright blue, followed by Fiend, which is a very light baby blue, a very pretty color, but not as pigmented as the others. I feel in general from a multitude of palettes that I've had, this is a very hard color to get pigmented. And then the last color in the first row is Sinful, which is a kind of dove gray color that's very pretty. The second row starts off with Luxuria, which you probably can't see because it's so close to my skin tone, but it's another good color to set your base. Then next to it is Coquette, which is kind of a nice terracotta color. Didn't swatch as strongly as the others, but it does work nicely on the eye. And then next we have NSFW, which is a strong, very red-orange color, followed by Lumbia, which is just truly a hot, bright pink. Then after that we've got Ego, which is the dark purple of the palette, followed by Wicked, which is this light lime green. And then we have Nimbus, which is this nice brown color at the end. Then for the third row, we've got them right here. We're going to have Tweety, and I actually like the yellow from the other palette more than this one. I think they're really, really similar in color. And then next after that we have Vegas, which is a truly nice kind of burnt orange color. Then we have Unsafe, which is a very nice kind of neutral brown, followed by Huntress, which is another very nice brown that I like. I love the browns in these palettes that I like quite a bit. Then Phantom, which is a dark navy blue in the palette. This one feels more gritty than the other colors. That's not to say that it performs worse or less, but just a textural difference that I noticed. Then we have Medusa, which is a green color right here. And then Disturbia, which is the black in this palette. The blacks kind of look pretty freaking similar to me for both palettes. And I will say, I'll pop back into the screen, I will say that I do like these palettes quite a bit. Ah, there I am. Sorry, my hair's up. I like these palettes quite a bit and do think that they perform well. Just to kind of wrap up final thoughts, I do think that they are worth your money. I tried them and I wasn't like, oh my god, crazy obsessed love with them. That being said, since I'm a makeup enthusiast, I have kind of an unhealthy amount of makeup, so it takes a lot to kind of blow my mind away. I think that these definitely compete with all the drugstore palettes that are out there. And for me, drugstore is more like NYX, ColourPop. I know ColourPop's not drugstore, but it's the price range. Wet n Wild. For me, those are kind of the brands that I go to for good colorful eyeshadow palettes, and these definitely compete with, if not are better than those, I would say. So I do definitely give it 2 thumbs up and a recommendation. As far as how they compare to high-end, they do compare well. It's tricky because I like high-end a bit more, but they're also more loosely packed is the kind of eyeshadow I tend to be drawn towards. But these work incredibly well. It's hard to compare, I feel like, colorful palettes like this to high-end palettes, because besides like Natasha Denona, which is too expensive for me to afford, it's very hard to find a colorful palette like this in a high-end brand. So overall, I liked them. I wasn't blown away, but I really do like them, and I do recommend them if you're looking for a good colorful palette to play around with. If you don't like colors, which, you know, everyone has their own thing. If a colorful eyeshadow isn't really something that's your thing, I would say pass on these. They do have some really pretty brown and neutral palettes. I didn't purchase those though, just because I feel like I've got so many brown eyeshadows, it's hard for me to just buy like one neutral eyeshadow palette. But yeah, that's our final thoughts. I do recommend it. They're good. They're not mind-blowing, but good, solid palettes. And if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. leave a comment. Tell me if you've tried them, if you like them, what you think about them. I think it's kind of fun with the Instagram made me buy it kind of thing, because I just saw so many ads. I was like, curiosity will prevail and I will purchase them. But yeah, I hope to see you in the next video and that you're having a good day, night, evening, wherever you are, and goodbye.